Hello, intermediate level ukulele players. Today I'm going to be doing Bad Leroy Brown for a bit of a challenge for you. And of course what you want to be doing is getting lots of practice in on songs where you know the chords already, getting really solid on your full range of chords, and then keep adding ones that you might find more challenging. So in this song, it's in the key of G, and you'll find a link in the description box. It is from the site that I quite like called San Jose Ukulele Club, and they have a bit of the timing information in there. So in this song, as I said, we're in the key of G. So we have the 1 chord, meaning the G chord, and then we have an A7, so that would be considered the 2 chord, because after G comes A. Then you have a B7, and they show it there along the top. I would bar that a 2nd fret and put that other note down. Now there's another way to play the B7 that I showed in one of the songs on my channel called the Elvis song, I Can't Help Falling in Love. And it's what it does as a way to remember B7 if you don't have it on the chart is it mirrors that E minor. Most people can memorize the E minor, so another way to play B7 is a similar staircase shape, but like this. But we're going to use the one as written there. And then it's got a C. Then it's got I think the barred D7. I don't know. I think I've changed my chart enough so that I've got both on there for my students. So B7, you can do it that way or this way. So mainly it's just that B7 that's a bit different. But then over farther you have an alternative form of the C major chord. And you'll see by looking at the little image of it that there's a number 3. Now they shouldn't have put the solid, they should have just left that off there, and then you would have maybe noticed why that was different. But really what they're telling you to do there is that bar is happening at the 3rd fret in order to have the notes that you need for that chord. So it would be like this, and what it's coming out of, you know, the original of that chord, the original form of the chord in the fingers would be an A. So as you can see, so this is a little bit of technical information before we do the song. This nut here is taking care of the pitch of those 2 strings when we're doing an A chord here. And I'm going to play it with my 2nd and 3rd fingers to show you what happens when we move up. So if I move up here and put these down, that's your B flat chord that some of you are used to. And that's, you know, just when you form the chord in the 2nd fret space that's up from this shape, and then do this. Now you're the nut, you're taking care of those. And then there's a B, and after B in music comes C, so there's the C shape. And there you have that C there. So they're telling you that you could bar that C as an alternative if you want a challenge, right? Because that's going to build your skills really a lot. And I think that there's a moving around of the barring in this song, but let's just get into it. So in tune ukulele, let's do a little check in, relax, belly out, and in the in tune C, la, and then the listening to the E, la, back to the C. So you're forming a G shape at the start. So that first note, well, is going to be a B. I'm just going to tell you that. Don't have to try and figure it out. And the one I'm getting the pitch from is this note here, well, but it's going to be an octave down. Okay, we can just strum a learning tempo. Well, the south side of Chicago, 4/4 time, is the baddest part of town. I'm going to slide up and snooch that up there. Go down there, you bet. This is where that barred 3 comes in. You can slide up here. Beware of the... And then the optional D7 is down here. So you're sliding all over the place. Right? So you don't have to do any of that. You don't have to do any of those bars. You can make do with the other form of the chord. So we're still on a G 3rd line. Now Leroy, more than trouble, he'll stand about 6'4", and all the downtown ladies call him sweet child lover. All the men just call him sir. And he's bad Leroy or the regular form. Meaner than a junkyard dog. Second verse, Leroy, he's a gambler, and he liked his fancy clothes. To the second, he liked to wait. I'm going to slide up to the third and add the other two. And then I'm going to go back down. He's got a custom Continental. He's got an Eldorado too. He's got a 32 gun in his pocket for fun. He's got a razor in his shoe. And he's bad, bad Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole damn town. Slide up and then add a king. You can go down. Old-fashioned D7, not old-fashioned, but the easier one. Well, Friday night about a week ago, Leroy shooting dice at the edge of a bar. Said a girl named Dolores said, oh, that girl looked nice. Well, he cast his eyes upon her, and the trouble soon began. Leroy Brown, he learned a lesson about a messin' with wife of a jealous man. And he's bad, bad Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole damn town. Better than old king, come on, meaner than a junkyard dog. Well, the two men took to fighting, and then they pulled him from the floor. Leroy looked like a jigsaw puzzle with a couple of pieces gone. Alright, so I'm not going to do the last chorus, but you've got that figured out, right? So strum, simple down strum when you're sight reading it. And then if you want to do fast, when you got bad, down, again that. Down, down, up, down. Down, side of Chicago. Down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. If you go down there. So that little slidey bar thing, if you want to get some bar exercise, then your hand will get sore. So you're starting off on the G, right? A7, simple form, just that one fretted note. Then you can use your thumb and back to bar that second fret there and add that note there. Slide up to the 3 and add the other 2 for the C, and you've got the shape indicated there on your chart. Then go back down to the 2 and drop that finger down to make the D7. So that's a little run you can practice on, and then that will really help your barring if you want to start getting more. So you're here, slide up 1 fret, so you're releasing a little bit, sliding, plunking those 2 on, releasing, sliding down and pulling that down, and then you're back to the G. Right, so that's a good exercise to really work your bar height. And as you could see me, I was just mixing it up so that you got a chance to do both ones. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, but if you're eager to move forward with different chords and you want to make them sound better and better, barring is definitely your friend to learn to do. Okay, so I hope you found that enjoyable. Bad Leroy Brown, it's quite a story, and a fun song to play and give you a bit of a challenge. Okay, so I'll see you on our next video. Bye for now.